Hello, everyone. This is Dino Chris from Prehistoric Facts, and this is Prehistoric Facts special episode number 261. We're going to be talking about a Tyrannosaur today, and that Tyrannosaur is Lythronax. And so this is an artist illustration of what Lythronax possibly looked like. And so this is an awesome image. I love the colors and the little fuzz of feathers that it puts on here of this guy. Like, man, I just love this illustration. Some information about Lythronax. The name means Gore King. So this dinosaur's got one of the coolest names amongst dinosaurs. It's up there with Tyrannosaurus Rex. It's up there with, like, say, Meraxes. It's also, like, in terms of like other types of dinosaur names that are really really cool. You know, cool names can actually pop out amongst dinosaurs and other prehistoric creatures, and like this is one of them. This is definitely one of them. Length is 16 to 26 feet, or 5 to 8 meters. Height is 7 feet, or 2.1 meters. Weight is 1,100 to 5,500 pounds. It lived 81.9 to 81.5 million years ago in the late Cretaceous period. The fossils are found in Utah in the United States, and it was described by Lowen in 2013. So this dinosaur is already over 10 years old. It's getting close to the 15-year mark. That'll be in 2028 when this dinosaur was described to science. And so here we have a map of the United States, and where that red circle is, that is the state of Utah. And so that's where Lythronax fossils have been found. It's been found in a national park in Utah. It is not Dinosaur National Monument. That's more information. We're talking Lythronax lived in the late Cretaceous period, so Grand Staircase Escalante. That's the national park that Lythronax fossils have been found. And so we have here a size chart of Lythronax compared to a modern human female. And so Lythronax is still considered to be a large theropod, but it's actually not as large as, like, say, its other relatives, like, say, Daspletosaurus, Tarbosaurus, Suchentyrannus, and Tyrannosaurus rex. And so it is considered to be a medium-sized tyrannosaur by amongst the tyrannosaur relatives, amongst tyrannosaurs. And then down on the bottom right here is a chart here, and we actually see some of the remains of Lythronax. Lythronax is not a complete specimen. It got majority of the skull, except for the brain case, and so we have one rib, partial pelvis, and partial limb bones, basically right on the hind limbs. And so that's what mostly of the holotype specimen is of Lythronax, is that it's not much. And so hopefully once paleontologists get to do more excavations in that area of Utah to find more Lythronax fossils, hopefully we get a little bit more complete picture of the body of this animal. And so that's what we're hoping for. More information about Lythronax: it is part of the Tyrannosauridae family, so it is a tyrannosaur. And the part of the Tyrannosaur family it belongs to is the Teratophonae. Teratophonae. And so that's the type of group of tyrannosaurs it belongs to. So that's also similar to Teratophonius and Bistahyversor, those types of theropod dinosaurs of the tyrannosaurs. And so typical features is a large skull, so that's typical amongst tyrannosaurs. Teeth D-shaped in cross section. That is basically the tyrannosaur trait amongst, like, dinosaur teeth. When you look at tyrannosaur teeth, when you cut them in cross section, they're D-shaped, whereas other theropod dinosaurs, their teeth are not really D-shaped. So, like, say, Spinosaurs, they're conical teeth, so they're mostly not going to be D-shaped in cross section. And also some other theropods, those are going to be very thin amongst cross section. And so that's And so D-shaped is basically a tyrannosaur trait. Lythronax would also have forward-facing eyes, so it would have binocular vision. Majority of tyrannosaurs do have binocular vision. And so we actually look at the later tyrannosaurs. So basically the late Cretaceous tyrannosaurs. They would have binocular vision. So they have very good vision and also very good sense of smell, good sense of hearing. So it has all the traits to be great predators. Lythronax would also have very short arms with two fingers on each hand. And so that's the typical Tyrannosaurs, but even though we don't have a complete arm or shoulder of Lythronax just yet, but it is looking more like it is like the other types of Tyrannosaurs, which it has very short arms. And of course, Lythronax is a carnivore. That's what all Tyrannosaurs are, is that they are carnivorous dinosaurs. The environment in which Lythronax lived in would have been warm and humid. It would have been wet and dry seasons. The plants are around, so like trees, ferns, cycads, even flowers. Flowers were around when Lythronax lived. And of course, there was no grass during that kind of time. Dinosaurs did not see any grass whatsoever around this kind of time. And like water, like features in the environment, so like rivers, lakes, ponds, and of course the Western Interior Seaway. Around this kind of time, around 89 or 81.9 to 81.5 million years ago, the Western Interior Seaway that was at its widest, and so that's where you're seeing is that the Western Interior Seaway was at its biggest around that kind of time. And then, of course, you also see plenty of other insects, amphibians, reptiles, mammals, avian dinosaurs, which are also birds, and you got pterosaurs, and of course, non-avian dinosaurs. And so you still got some dinosaurs around that kind of time, both avian and non-avian around that kind of time. And the reptiles that were around, so like crocodilians, lizards, those types of things. The prey that Lythronax would have gone after. Lythronax was the largest carnivorous animal, or the top predator in its environment, and so you would have gone after some hadrosaurs that were around that kind of time, ceratopsians, which would be Diabloceratops. Diabloceratops was around this kind of time when Lythronax lived in. There would have also been some ankylosaurs and, of course, pachycephalosaurs. And some of those are not named yet. Some of those are not named yet. The ankylosaurs and the pachycephalosaurs. Those are yet to be determined in terms of species. So see what that holds for the type of prey species that were around at that kind of time. Too. So hadrosaurs and ceratopsians, ankylosaurs and pachycephalosaurs. That's the prey that Lythronax would have gone after. Mainly the juveniles, the very old, or the injured. And the extinction of Lythronax was mostly due to climate change. The temperatures cooled around 81 million years ago, and so we actually see the temperatures started to cool down around that kind of time. Not by a lot, just by a small amount of temperature. The small amount of temperature did cool down. So Lythronax lived in a time where it was pretty warm. It was pretty warm, and then so when the temperatures cooled down slightly, that's when things started to change. The Western Interior Seaway slightly retreated, so the width of the Western Interior Seaway did shrink a little bit, and so that's where we start to see a little bit more drier areas that are starting to show up, and so that's how we start to see the Western Interior Seaway make an effect on the environment too. Is that when the Western Interior Seaway started to retreat slightly, that's when we start to see some like temperatures cooling down, and of course, much drier environments started to show up, and also, of course, the plants changed around that kind of time, and that means new prey was coming in, and like the prey that Lythronax relied on could not handle those changes, and so that's when some of those dinosaurs did not survive, and then like their descendants started to take over in terms of being a little bit bigger and also faster, and of course more adapted to those types of environments. And Lythronax had to join its prey that it disappeared because of those changes. And so, yes, it's mostly climate change that actually caused the extinction of Lythronax. And so here's a map of North America around 80 million years ago. So this is basically an estimated guess around 80 million years ago. So this is the closest that we can actually get in terms of the time of Lythronax. And so yeah, so when the Western Interior Seaway was around an 81 million years ago, like the western part of the coast of the Western Interior Seaway, that was actually a little bit more here. And so where you can see that line, that's where that coast would actually have been. And so that's where you kind of see a little bit of that retreat, right there of the Western Interior Seaway in terms of width. And so that's how the Western Interior Seaway did retreat a little bit. And everyone knows the Western Interior Seaway in terms of like what happened around 80 to 75 million years ago. That's where we get the other types of predatory animals that were showing up in the Western Interior Sea. But Lythronax disappeared 81.5 million years ago. And the next episode will be on May 7th, 2026, and that'll be a Q&A episode. So if you got any questions about dinosaurs and other prehistoric life, but you can send your questions to me via email at dinochrist71@gmail.com, or let's go to my Facebook page, Prehistoric Facts with Dino Chris. Like the page. Yes, you post your questions in the comment section. Please put them in the comment section. Don't put them on Messenger. Messengers for private conversations only. So please put your questions in the comment section on any Facebook post, and also for you YouTubers out there. Like the videos, subscribe to the channel. According to my analytics, a lot of you guys are checking out my channel and not subscribed yet. So please feel free to hit that subscribe button and also hit the like button because on the videos, that's how the YouTube algorithm works. The more likes the video gets, the more likely the video gets spread out to people that are interested in dinosaurs, prehistoric life, paleontology, and geology in general. So please feel free to do so. And also share the video, share the channel to anybody that's interested in dinosaurs, prehistoric life, paleontology, and geology in general. So please feel free to do so. And also hit that notification bell so that we can get weekly notifications of every video that comes out. And also you can go on my channel and hit the post tab. You will actually see posts that I put out, mainly updates on videos, uh, paleontology news, mainly in the dinosaur news cycle, and of course, polls. I post polls every 3 days on the channel, so that way you guys can check them out and participate in the polls. And you guys are amazing and participating in the polls, and you guys are doing a great job with that. And also, for you YouTubers out there, leave your questions in the comments section because I do read them all. All of you guys are sending me questions via email, Facebook, and YouTube. You guys are awesome. Give me great questions for the Q&A episodes. It means a lot, and keep up the great work with that. And also make sure you keep your questions short and to the point. You can also follow me on Instagram at dino.chris.pf. I post pretty cool stuff on there. You can also follow me on Threads, same thing, at dino.chris.pf. I post pretty cool stuff on there as well. Also, take care of people around you, and also for younger people out there to make the list, and your parents, your teachers, and your guardians. It's the best motivation you can have for a good education. It's very important to have a good education. So with a good education, you get a good job in the future. And just an update for you guys is that in the event that I did in Burlington, Wisconsin, that's in the southeastern part of Wisconsin. The turnout was amazing. Had over 800 people that actually showed up for that. With the partnership with a friend of mine and former boss from the museum I used to work for. His thing is about whales, and I'm doing my own program as well. And so I presented tyrannosaurs to a lot of people, so that way that people can be educated about tyrannosaurs. And that's this year's theme for my program in Wisconsin is tyrannosaurs. And so so that would so I'm talking about tyrannosaurs, and I'm showing like replicas of tyrannosaurs, also actual fossils of Tyrannosaurus rex, and even a fossil of a Nanotyrannus, and also showing models of uh, Tyrannosaurs as well. some of like the most up-to-date art, like models of Tyrannosaurs in terms of body design, what they did look like, and all that sorts of stuff. And it's a lot of fun. And and I did have two new items that did come to me, and they are very, very well done. And I am gonna enjoy presenting these two new items. And so the picture that you saw previously on one post, that was the Albertosaurus lower jaw, and that was one of my new items. But these other two items that have showed up, they're free. They're amazing. They're really, really amazing. And I gotta tell you, this is gonna be awesome to show people. And these two items are gonna be great for that. And so my next one that I'm going to be doing. It's going to be on my own. This will be in Rhinelander, Wisconsin on June 8th. On June 8th in Rhinelander, Wisconsin. So that is in the northern part of Wisconsin. So if you're in that area on June 8th around 1 o'clock or 1:30, please come check out my Tyrannosaur program. And you guys are going to learn a lot about Tyrannosaurs in general. But T-Rex is going to be mainly the focus, but I'll talk about the other tyrannosaurs in that kind of time. And I'll still go back and forth. I'll still have I wouldn't say go back and forth. I would say still partnering up with my friend with the whale program that he has for this summer. And I'll still present tyrannosaurs, and I might add a couple more items to the uh, to the program as well. And so that would be awesome. And so I guarantee you guys are going to have a fun time uh, learning about tyrannosaurs. And so, but I'll let you guys know in a future video, or otherwise a short on YouTube, about what is going to be the next program for 2027. And so they'll probably more likely be maybe late July or otherwise in August of when that short or video that's going to come up. And so just to let you guys know about that. And so, yeah, so stay tuned for what kind of program is coming up for 2027. That's it for now, and I'll see you guys next time.